All right, and we're back to the discussion board. We're talking entertainment news, and I think probably like the biggest piece of news last week was that Kim Kardashian, quote unquote, broke the internet with her new spread or whatever on Paper magazine. Nude, not safe for work pictures. Um, there's been a lot of talk and debate about it. Of course, people hate Kim Kardashian, so why not hate on whatever she does? This being one of them. Um, I don't know. What's your take on it?
I don't know. I just if it's obviously inspired by a previous shoot. If you haven't seen it back in 1976, so it's not wholly original. I would. I just think it's funny how she says that her daughter she wants her daughter to make money the old-fashioned way, yet here she is posing nude for Paper magazine. Obviously it's caused a lot of publicity, but I feel like it was set up in a way that they expected it to to make like headlines, and it just didn't feel genuine. Just felt fabricated. So, you know what I mean?
That's a very good point. This idea of just doing this because the eyeballs it's gonna get.
Exactly.
All the people that are gonna talk about it, that are gonna see it, and it's a good point as to why they did it. It's also, I feel like the pictures do look Photoshop a fair amount. They play with lighting in a way, in many ways. It's all very smoothed out. It just feels, it's like, you talked about it not being genuine. Again, with the Photoshop and stuff, it doesn't seem genuine. Um, it seems like this, again, we talk about the portrayal that media has on men and women and how they're supposed to look. I think this furthers, the negative portrayal of how men and women are supposed to look.
Yeah, I agree. And I believe there have been some unphotoshopped photos of this shoot to be released, and it doesn't look pretty, to say the least. But yeah, I think it's definitely not a good message to send to younger people. Definitely not something that you would want. I don't know how I feel about all these pictures all over the internet. I wonder how Kanye West feels. That's my one I'm wondering. What do you think?
Yeah, you see, it's weird. Their relationship is very strange, and strange in a way like I just don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I can't really comment. I mean, no, I don't know if I even should. What does Kanye think? Probably not that much because she's still married to him. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think like Kanye kind of lives for stuff like this at the same time.
Yeah.
He's always about the headlines. He's always in your news. He really wants to make the biggest impact. I think there are times where he might necessarily agree with some of Kim's decisions, but I think at the same time, he lives for stuff like this.
I think one cool thing recently, another person who did a nude not safe for work cover shoot was Keira Knightley, but what she did was she only agreed to do it if they wouldn't Photoshop anything or if they wouldn't do anything like that. So I thought that was cool, in a way that she's trying to make a statement with her body, instead of like trying to just get people's attention.
Yeah.
Which was something I thought was kind of cool, and of course that was definitely overshadowed by Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, without a doubt. And she's a big name in media right now. She's the marketing hype. If you put Kim Kardashian in any product, it's gonna sell. She's obviously has a great share of that market. She's taking advantage of social media. She's really, whether we joke about how she got to this spot, and we know at the end of the day, you can all thank Ray J to her success and her family's notoriety. But she obviously has taken advantage of that, and she hasn't apologized for it. Like where she's like not sorry. She's here. She's in your face. She's making money.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You know that I'm sure this is gonna die down in like this week.
Yeah.
But it was big for last week. It was very big for last week.
Without a doubt.
Moving on to, you know, I don't know if you've heard about Taylor Swift and Spotify.
I have not.
She pulled all her music off of Spotify, saying that she didn't want to be a part of the service, saying that she didn't want to be a part of a grand experiment. I guess it's because people are like listening to music for free. It's that idea. She was expected to make $6 million in 2014 or for 1 year off of putting her music on Spotify. Apparently, I guess that wasn't enough because she was able to sell her new album 1989 and it made $12 million in its first week. So, you know, maybe it was a smart move to do that. I don't know. Do you think she was being a little greedy with that? Or do you think she was justified? And also, like, take into account that she doesn't make all the money that off the records, that it's more tours that she would make bigger money off of. I know in the past she's made like $800 million. Or not that she's made $800 million, but her tours have made $800 million.
Well, I'm not sure how really from her perspective, you know, as an artist, you don't know, your shelf life is something that's always in question. You know, you don't really know. One day you could be on top of the charts, next day, people are talking about, you know, you're a has-been. It's really got to take advantage of the market right now. If as an artist, as an entertainer, you really got to get as much money as you can. It sucks, but that's the business of it. You know, this is what people do for a living. Mm-hmm. I personally, for the terms of Spotify, I pay for Spotify. I pay, you know, the student discount's like $5 a month, and it's really worth it. I think everyone, if you're gonna pay for a music service, go with Spotify. Mm-hmm. But if she really feels like that's something she's not getting the full advantage of, and that's totally understandable. You know, Spotify makes a lot of money off ads in addition to subscribers. Yeah. So this is a growing business, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not really sure how other artists stand on Spotify and other music services. Mm-hmm. So
actually, Dave Grohl actually spoke about this a couple of days ago, where he said he didn't care, where it's just people. He was saying, like, if people want to listen to your music, they're gonna listen to your music, and you know, things like Spotify are fine for that. It's if they're gonna see you, like tours is specifically. It's them going out to see you. It's you selling the music or letting them hear it, and then they go see you on tour or in concert. So that's only one musician, and then we look at what U2 did, and I guess that's like a different thing altogether, but kind of similar, you know.
Yeah, so I think it's really just, you know, we're in 2014. Mm-hmm. We're in an emerging age of digital music. You know, I want my music now. Mm-hmm. I paying, like, you know, the whole iTunes revolution, having like paying $1 for a song. Yeah. That was unheard of, you know, 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. And now we're living in an age where I click a button and I can get instant streaming music that's not downloaded on my phone. Yeah. So it's obviously the way it's so new that people don't know how to handle it. People don't know how to make money off of it in like the way they want, and to make every party happy. Back in the day, it was, you know, you market your CD, people go in the store, they buy their CD, they listen to it, done. They go to your show if they want to. Yeah. And everyone who needs to get their money gets their money. But in this day and age, there's obviously ways to circumvent that. Things are cheaper now. People might not make money, but still everyone's going to hear your mixtape online or your music online for free. So it's obviously a different generation. It's different. People are still figuring out the perfect way to handle, you know, the digital age of music.
Yeah, I mean, you know, digital is here to stay. Everything's digital now. And, you know, something I find interesting is that, you know, we look at Taylor Swift's fan base. I don't want to say it's exactly the same as a fan base of One Direction or Jonas Brothers or Justin Bieber, but it's similar demographics, right? And what I think is interesting is that it seems like those demographics seem to pay for music more. Like teenage girls. My sister actually paid for 1989, the Taylor Swift album. She bought it like the first week or so, and I was kind of surprised by that. And it seems like a lot of people now want to download their music illegally for free. But it seems like, I mean, Taylor Swift made $12 million in her first week. It was projected to sell about 600,000 in its first week. It sold 1.2 million.
She has no right to complain.
Yeah, we look at this demographic, and I think it's really interesting. It looks like this demographic is more likely to pay for music than people that like, I don't know, rock music or rap music or stuff like that. Like,
Definitely.
I don't know if the Foo Fighters even sold that much in their first week, which was last week, and they've been around for a decade.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. I think what it is that demographic as compared to, ours and, the ones that are slightly older than us, we're a little more technically savvy. I think that we know we value what we value, and sort of the younger generation might not necessarily see the other ways around it, whereas, we've been around this, we've been doing this for a while now. We've been purchasing or downloading music for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that with this younger demographic too, I feel like with young girls and young boys, whatever, I feel like they may have a connection more with the artist. There's more of a fanatical sort of feeling towards the artist, where they feel like, we need to buy everything that they own. You need to buy every piece of merchandise. I need a poster. I need a towel. I need everything that that's on their face and has their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they're not gonna download their music because they feel like they're not gonna support or whatever, or feel like they're a part of that movement.
Yeah, it's also easier to ask your parents to pay for something. Not that everyone has done that. Just saying, like, for teenagers to ask your parents to, like, hey, can you buy this album for me?
Exactly. It's really just a different generation, different time.
Yeah.
So moving on, Bill Cosby has been accused of sexual assault.
Yeah, this is a weird one. This came out, I believe, like last week. And he's been very silent about it since then. Actually, a second woman came out as well, saying that she was raped as well. So that's two women. One saying 1989, and I believe the other woman said the 80s. It's very, very odd news. I don't know how to feel about it. Obviously, like, upset, especially if he did this. Bill Cosby's been a person who's just, like, been loved and adored and been a legend for decades, and if these are true, then it's going to change what people think about him. He says he will not dignify the claims with the response. But, whether this gets dropped or, I don't know if they have proof, but, it hurts his legacy. And even they canceled an upcoming appearance he was going to have on David Letterman.
Yeah, so, really, and there was a case recently, last month, where Hannibal Buress, at one of his shows, called out Bill Cosby and said, was basically coming out, saying that you rape women. So obviously this probably isn't the first time that Bill Cosby hasn't encountered this.
Yeah.
What do you think he can do to really rectify the situation?
He's already not talking, which is, a sign, which is an odd sign. He's not denying, which is weird. Even when Bryan Singer was accused of molestation earlier this year for where they said it took place maybe sometime around 1999, 2000, around that time, he even denied it. Now, whether people believe him, is a different thing. But when he was accused, he willingly bowed out of promotion for X-Men because he didn't want to hurt the film, and he's still directing X-Men Apocalypse that's coming out in about 2 years or so. he's, and I think his cases were dropped, and I think, whether he did it or not, he's kind of in the clear. Maybe because and I'm not saying I'm okay with that. I don't know what to believe. I haven't seen any proof. I haven't seen anything, so I can't really comment on it. Definitely, but Bill Cosby being silent makes me feel weird.
Yeah, and I think it's tough to say. We've maybe necessarily not us, but the generation before us definitely grew up with Bill Cosby, sitcoms, and so Bill Cosby in media. So it's obviously probably a lot harder to swallow for them. The reality is, I think that as you grow up, you really understand that you have this sort of idea that everyone that was a celebrity or was a person of notoriety when you were growing up had a sort of could never do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And as you grow older, you obviously realize that sort of veil of innocence goes away from your eyes, and you start to see that people are really corrupt. And as much as it sucks, I'm not trying to say that, obviously, like you said, we don't know anything for sure. I'm not going to say that he did what he did. Mm-hmm. It's not final until they have 100% proof or he comes out and admits it. Yeah. But it's just a matter of life that you really can't trust what some people say. Obviously, Bill Cosby is a very revered man for his work, revered for his talks, his advice to people, what he's done for the African American community, what he's done for African Americans in media and sitcoms. It's obviously been a pioneer. But at the end of the day, if he did it, then it's obviously a shame. There's really not much else we can say until we know for sure if he did it or not.
Yeah, we'll see how this unfolds, but we'll see what happens.
All right, what's next?
On lighter news, they're making the Uncharted movie. For a couple years, David O. Russell was circling it. Actually, wrote a couple scripts or whatever. Ultimately, Sony or the powers that be decided not to go through with it. But now they seem to have picked it up again, and they offered Chris Pratt Nathan Drake. To which Chris Pratt said no. He turned it down.
That's a shame. I think I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. I think especially after Guardians of the Galaxy, I think he did a solid job.
His stock is blowing up,
definitely.
like huge right now. He was in the Lego movie. Now he was in Guardians, one of the biggest movies of the year. Second biggest, unfortunately, because Transformers: Age of Extinction is number one. I've seen that movie. It's
awful.
Words can't describe how bad that movie is. But he's gonna be in the Jurassic Park reboot, Jurassic World, Guardians 2. Like, his show Parks and Recreation is ending right now, so he's being freed up to do more movies. So maybe this was a good decision. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want another franchise right now. Maybe it just didn't work out scheduling wise.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of different factors we're not aware of. Chris Pratt, obviously, like you said, his stock's going up. So he's obviously making a lot of decisions that probably benefit his brand in the long run. Mm-hmm. I think that there's been talks about this Uncharted movie for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. Honestly, I'm not even 100% sure I want a Uncharted movie.
Yeah, the games feel so cinematic that
exactly.
You just you fear that a movie could damage your look on the franchise.
Exactly, and I think that Uncharted is probably one of the better, or if not the best, I wouldn't say the best, arguments can be made, one of the better Sony PlayStation exclusive games, mm-hmm. Franchises to be released.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is something that you handle with care. Yeah. But in terms of the role, they'll find someone else. There's a lot of great actors out there. Chris Pratt will probably move on to something great.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. So, moving on, Guardians director says Guardians 2 is not here to service Avengers 2. What do you think about that?
Interesting thing that he said that. I think in ways, he can't really, I don't think he can really, like, stand by that claim, you know what I mean? Like, Thanos was a big part of, Thanos is going to be the villain of Avengers 3 Part 1 and 2, or Avengers The Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Yeah. He's going to be the villain. Now, what's interesting is Thanos was in the Guardians movie, briefly. he's probably going to be involved in Guardians 2. You know, in ways, Guardians is there to, you know, bridge Avengers, you know, bring Thanos into the world a little more. What I think he's saying is that this movie's going to be able to stand on its own, and because it's such like a big franchise now. Right now, Guardians is bigger than Thor.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Thor movies, and it's bigger than Captain America 2. Guardians made more money than Cap 2, Thor 2, not Iron Man 3. So Guardians is still not making Iron Man money.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, like you said, he's just trying to say that it can obviously stand on its own.
Mhm.
I think Guardian of the Galaxy, the original, it's obviously proved that it's franchise worthy. It can potentially make, you know, Iron Man money, you know, coming in the future. I think that obviously a lot of people are looking forward to this movie.
Yeah.
To say that it's here to service Avengers, you know, you can't really deny the fact that it's gonna set up some stones.
Avengers is the biggest moneymaker.
Exactly. That is their marquee, you know, go-to. That's their big event of the year. So obviously everything in that cinematic universe is gonna play up that one big event, whether they like it or not. You know, obviously the movie can stand up on its own and make its own money, but at the end of the day, you know, the Avengers is the number one go-to.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
that is what it is, and we'll see in the future. I think it's gonna be a great film, so we're gonna look forward to that.
Yeah.
More Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah. So the rumor has it that Justin, I think Justin Lin is the guy. He's directing Furious 7. Is, you know, being talked to direct the next 3 Fast and Furious movies, which is a shame because I thought we were done with them after Furious 7. I think for sure Vin Diesel is done with them, maybe The Rock too. But apparently the studio sees a lot of untapped potential in the movie, and I've heard as much as 3 more to kind of close it out.
I think it's 3 too many, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely gonna be once we get to the third one, there's definitely gonna be a wear out. People are gonna be worried about this franchise. I think we already are a little bit. I'm looking forward to the next one, but past that, you know, Fast and Furious again. You know, what else can they do differently story wise?
In my mind, it's this is the last one. So, you know, they've kind of publicly said before that, you know, oh, we're gonna stop at this number. And, you know, to make more just seems weird and seems like they're cashing in on the franchise now. And I feel like, you know, the characters currently that are gonna be in Furious 7, played by Vin Diesel and Tyrese and Paul Walker and The Rock, I feel like their stories are gonna end with this one.
Yeah, so, and I think definitely be like a chance where you see a whole different cast.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but you know, we'll see.
We'll definitely see. Moving on, Christoph Waltz in Bond 24.
That's cool. They said, rumor has it he might be the villain, which is
very awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Javier Bardem was the villain in Skyfall, which is my favorite James Bond movie. Not because it's new, but because there's just many reasons why I think Skyfall is the best Bond movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a well-made film.
Mm-hmm.
It's action-packed. It's definitely a great film. But Christoph Waltz, definitely something I'm looking forward to. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Awesome news. Has GTA 5 done enough to justify a second purchase?
This was it comes out this week. It actually comes out tomorrow. This was a question that I was having for a couple months since they announced it. And they announced like the first person view, where you can see through your character's eyes. And as a person that has played GTA 5 on PS3 and beaten it already and done so much side missions and stuff, I'm gonna say yes. I feel like there's a refined online play. There's the first person mode, which is a game changer for GTA 5, and it's not just like something that was thrown in. It was something that they looked like they actually worked on, and it looks like it can rival first-person games.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The graphics are improved. Things like draw distance and just textures and everything's been worked on. This is remastered, but not in the way that we've seen remastered games in the past.
Yeah, I think that speaking of like what you said, we both played it. I played GTA 5 to the point where I was like 2 more tasks away from getting 100% completion.
Wow.
So I obviously put a lot of time into GTA 5 on the PS3. But at the same time, right before it was announced, I was planning to do it all over again, and then it got announced for PS4. So I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
No hesitation. I've seen videos, improved graphics, improved draw distance, everything you said. The first person mode, like that's insane.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, there used to be like sort of workarounds to get in GTA 4 to have like a faux first person mode where you would like ride on a motorcycle and it would just be funny. But to see it's obviously something that's very special. I think it's gonna be a whole different experience, and I can't wait to get 100% again on PS4. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna purchase it again. I'm very excited. Buy it for Christmas. Play it during our break.
Without a doubt. And speaking of more video games, Telltale's Game of Thrones is gonna start this year.
Very excited about that. They're unlike Telltale is seems like the most prolific game developer right now. They have Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us. Now they're gonna have Game of Thrones and Borderlands, 2 big properties. Game of Thrones is gonna start this year. I don't know when Borderlands is gonna start, but I know there's a trailer out. Game of Thrones is gonna have 6 episodes in its first season, and will be based on the TV show, unlike The Walking Dead, which is based on the comic book.
Yeah. So I think that it's if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna take place in one of the houses. So a house we haven't really seen before in the TV show. From what I've heard, it's going to take place during the first season of the game. Is going to take place during season 3 and 4 of the TV show.
Okay, that's interesting to start that far ahead, and not start season 1 where I would have thought someone would start.
So yeah, it's going to take place with a house we haven't seen before. So you interact them, you get to switch characters, switch perspectives. Obviously, it's something being very awesome. We a lot of people love the world of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the bigger TV shows, if not the biggest TV show on television right now.
Yeah.
So
I am a big fan of the show. The game I would definitely get, but with Telltale, like The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, I'm more of a wait until every episode's out on one disc kind of guy. Wolf Among Us and season 2 of Walking Dead are out now, so I'm probably gonna get those during our break.
Yeah, I play Wolf Among Us. I love it.
Yeah, so, I really like Telltale. They're really a great developer.
Yeah, honestly, we expect nothing but quality, so I think that this is gonna be another great release from Telltale.
Yep, no doubt.
No doubt. So all right, so from now we're gonna transition to another song.
Okay, what are we playing?
Right now we're gonna play "Multiply" by A$AP Rocky and Juicy J.
Okay, this is Multiply.